Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself and Eggs on my pad.
Hello!
As always.
As always, indeed.
Yeah. I think we're nearing the triple figures, you know, for chat and side quests.
If combined in all the chats we've done, we're in triple
figures. if we combine everything.
Not that anyone watches these.
No, nobody watches these videos. But it gives me something to do, so that's the most important thing.
Yes. Makes you feel productive.
So there are some things to talk about. I don't really know what to start with. I think
we leave the good news till last.
Yeah.
We'll leave the good news till last.
Okay.
So we'll go
with Blizzard and Activision. Hey! Back again. Woo!
Let me get out the stick to beat them with it again. Thank you very much.
It does generally start to feel like we're beating a dead horse now. It's like I feel bad sometimes.
I don't.
And then I think about all the things that they've done, and I go,
no,
that bad feeling goes away.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, Blizzard fired a WoW Classic leader after he protests the employee evaluation policy.
So, TLDR on the evaluation policy, as a person where I work, did at one point have something like this. It boils down to this. The workforce is marked on their productivity, performance, etc., etc. And there are set brackets of percentages where staff have to fall under. A certain amount of percentage of the staff are classed as doing great, or above expectations. A large portion of the workforce will be put into the middle bracket of doing as expected, and then there's a percentage that are mandatorily put into below expected or improvement needed. And this is an arbitrary thing because it doesn't matter whether or not you actually do your job to the best of your abilities and are actually quite good. If you are deemed to be in that bottom 5%, you're in that bottom 5%. Doesn't matter how well you did that year. It is complete bullshit. And therefore, of course, Activision Blizzard love it.
Yeah, I mean.
So that's what this is that type of work for.
So it's Brian Birmingham, who also, by the way, if you want to, I mean, we've got the tweet here, which I will look at. He does have a tweet, which I will link.
Yeah, it's a thread.
It's a very long thread, and he basically just goes through everything that Activision
Blizzard King
has done. And when I say Activision, I mean all of them.
Yeah.
it's
basically the company run by Bobby Kotick.
All the stuff. So he refused to give an employee he's refused to give employee a low evaluation order to meet a quota introduced by Blizzard in 2021. The process called stacked ranking requires managers to give about 5% of their employees a low performance. Yeah, by the way, it requires them to do this.
Yeah,
so
you have to put 5%.
Even if your entire staff are doing fantastically well and don't need and have no problems, you've done perfectly well. No, you've got to put 5% of them into a below average.
Now, if everyone thinks about their workplace, and if 5%, a mandatory 5% of that workforce would have to be put in the below the, let's all be honest, the poor performance level. You can imagine the sort of things that sort of system encourages, like sabotage, not helping others, looking after only yourself, and also the kind of workplace that Activision Blizzard got kind of, scraped over the coals for.
According to Activision Blizzard sources who spoke to Bloomberg, a low rating reduces an employee's profit sharing bonus and could hamper them from receiving raises or promotions in the near future.
So again, this is the obligatory. By the way, if you work for these companies, unionize.
Yeah. In an email to staff expressing his frustration with the policy, Birmingham wrote that Blizzard executive leadership justify the policy by claiming it will squeeze the bottom-most performances as a way to make sure everyone continues to grow. He also said that he was asked to keep the policy secret from employees.
I wonder why.
It's a scummy thing to do.
It is a very scummy thing to do. I mean, the very reasoning behind it, to squeeze the bottom 5%. Go F yourself. I'm sorry, if you don't... I am beginning to get fed up of this attitude of just nonchalantly claiming your workforce is a bunch of lazy assholes. Because that's what it is. That's what they believe. They think they don't trust their workforce to actually do their jobs. In fact, the fact that if these chief executives were shoved in front of a computer and told, program that gun firing, they wouldn't know the blinding thing what to do.
It's also anti-constructive. If you think about it, if you're putting people in the below 5%, or below average market, right? Basically, what you're telling the rest of your team is that you're doing all the work and that person's not doing enough.
No, but it's
on
another level.
You are singling out these people.
Yeah. Exactly, I understand that, but also on another level, it also gives off the message that it doesn't matter how well you work, if you're deemed arbitrarily to be in the bottom 5%, tough shit. It also disencourages people helping other people.
Exactly.
Because why would I help that? Why would I help Tom,
who's not doing the work?
No, not even that. Like, why would I help Tom, who's struggling on this bit, but has done pretty well? Why would I help him get over me and put me into... And the whole thing, keep it secret. No, fuck off. The staff know about this. Office work, this sort of shit never is kept secret. It gets out. Do you want to know why? Because one person tells one person. That person then tells their team. Their team then, despite the fact not being told to tell their team, by the way, this still happens. This happens all the time. That team then starts in the break room chatting about everything that's been discussed in their meeting. To which the rest of the workforce goes, well, why the fuck haven't we been told this?
In the letter to Blizzard staff, Birmingham also wrote that if the policy isn't reversed, the Blizzard Entertainment he wants to work for doesn't exist anymore. And as for why he's protesting it now, he's wrote that he and other WoW managers have been able to work around the quota for the last 2 years, but that he was now required to drop an employee's ranking to hit it. According to Birmingham's email, others in WoW leadership asked if they could meet the quota by giving themselves a poor rating, but were told they couldn't.
Yeah, like not even the managers have a say in the matter. It is the most arbitrary, asinine, box-ticking bullshit that can only come from the friggin' higher-ups. Because do they not have anything better to do?
Yeah.
Than come up with these things that were actually proven to be counterproductive. Like, your Blizzard Entertainment's working environment at the moment, from everything we've heard, is literally in the dumps. And you decide that this now is the perfect time to throw in something that does not help people to grow together, but actually drives people apart. Like, I mean, I understand why you want to do that, because if people are together, they may unionize, and then you'll have to do negotiations and deal with strikes. Diddums, Mr. Bobby Kotick. How dare they do that and cost you your 15th yacht? How dare they? That you'll never use and actually just ship it up to the Caymans where it'll sit and do fucking nothing. Do you think I don't like that person?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a bit.
I mean, he's done nothing to actually make me like him, so, you know. But go on.
Okay. He's also written the realization that there's still a minimum quota for developing, despite our objections and sternly worded letters, leads me to believe that I was operating under an illusion. I hope Blizzard's positive culture can overcome ABK's poison, but it isn't succeeding in doing that yet. I bear no ill will towards my former colleagues at Blizzard Entertainment. Well, yeah, because it's not their fault. This is people up at the top doing this, making all these decisions. I mean, it's not even what's his name, Mike Ybarra.
Yeah,
it won't even be him. This has come
from the parent company. This has come from Activision Blizzard King. It's just so like, and they wouldn't. Here's the thing, right? These board members, because they'll do their usual yearly staff survey that they'll get the results of. I guarantee you in the boardroom, when those staff surveys come out, because I don't even think they'll laugh at it. I literally think they'll look at the staff survey where it goes, morale is at an all-time low, and go, well, why is it like that?
Oh, yeah.
Why are they so unhappy?
Yeah, this happens all the time.
Why are they so unhappy? Simple. Because you assholes don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, it's just madness.
Honest to God, the triple game industry, the triple game industry at the moment, I'm convinced now that the people at the top have no fucking idea how the market actually works.
Oh yeah.
I honestly now do not believe they know how the market works, because it's the only way that explains all the fucking trend chasing, even when the trend has died a death. How certain companies are still stuck on fucking NFTs, despite all evidence to show that, yeah, you release a game based on NFTs, it will just die. It won't even like be dead on arrival. It'll be dead prior to arrival. And just complete misreadings of the markets. It's just so. How are these people successful? Because they clearly aren't.
I wish I could die.
I know. I know.
I wish I could die. I don't know. The weird thing is, I think over the last few years, I think Sony's the company that's, especially in the video game part, Sony's been the company that's really been killing it. Yeah.
And even then...
they still make stupid mistakes, but when it comes to the actual game part...
Yeah.
They've been knocking it out of the park. Like, let's be honest. They've hit a home run pretty much for almost every like in-house game that they've released. They've hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
We've got to be honest with that. I don't understand why people don't look at that and go, why don't we do that? I know the reason. I do know the reason, but I just don't understand the thinking of it.
It's the whole thing of like,
we don't want to spend too much money, especially when like we could just like repaint FIFA 98 and put some microtransactions in it, and everybody will buy it. Like I know why. I just don't understand the thinking of it.
Yeah, but that's EA's thinking, right? And to be honest, there is a bit of understanding of why. Activision Blizzard
would do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, Activision Blizzard doesn't really have that. Yes, they have Call of Duty, but even then, like, the last Vanguard is... I think Vanguard was, like, the breaking point of, like, the fans have had enough of that shit.
The last one was... This new one's out, which has done... gangbusters, you know.
Yeah, I know, but it's been 2 years.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Like I was saying, like Vanguard was the basically by. I mean, granted, there are problems with Modern Warfare 2. The user interface for online.
The user interface for the game is terrible.
It is bad.
Like you get I didn't even know because I've got it now, and I was like, how do you even get into the game? Like I didn't know how to get into the single player. Because it just shoves you into Warzone. That's the first lot of things that you see, and I'm just like, okay, so where's the single player?
And it looks like
there's no menu.
It looks like an app store.
Yeah. And I'm just like, where's the single player? And then you have to go all the way down to the bottom, and the icon for the single player, the campaign, doesn't look like, unless you actually highlight it, it doesn't say campaign on it. It's just a square.
Oh God.
So I was just like, where's the campaign? I'm confused here. I'm pretty sure I installed the campaign. What's going on? You know, and oh god, that game! God, I hate that game. I wish I generally didn't have friends that like that game.
I need to join you and suffer with you.
You do not. I don't want people to come and join. I don't want people to come and join.
Anyway, back to this whole scenario. Like the whole idea of
this, by the way, this is a practice. The whole stacked employee ranking. This is a practice that Microsoft used to do and then stopped because they were massively criticised about it. So if Microsoft aren't doing it, maybe you should think, this isn't the best idea. Because let's be honest, Microsoft before, I want to say 2013, they were not a great company to work for.
No, they were not. But yeah, like I say, I've been under one of those things, and it is. I mean, personally, I was of the attitude of I don't give a fuck. I don't care because it's bullshit. But I saw how it affected people. People would stop helping other people.
Yeah.
Because of the case of, well, I don't want to be in that bottom 5%. And again, even though like they say, oh, we'll keep it secret. No, that sort of thing is never kept secret. It is never in a million years. That'll be the most open secret in Activision Blizzard, apart from all the other stuff that needs to be purged with a flamethrower. But yeah, it's just like, and this is
to be fair, let's be honest. Are we surprised that this is a method that Activision is using on its staff? No. And also, may I just say, Microsoft this is the company that Microsoft wants to buy. Yeah. Ugh. So it'd be interesting to hear what Microsoft think about that. Also, actually, speaking on that, did you know about what Microsoft have pulled? About so basically, what they've done is they've subpoenaed Sony.
Oh God, yes.
To release their release schedule for the next, I think, 4 years. Yeah. What they want to do. Now, obviously these things are usually kept in house. Like Microsoft have got one. All the companies will have one. They'll have an actual release schedule. Whether the games actually come out at that time or not is a completely different matter. But obviously these are the. And at the moment, Sony are in the middle of fighting that.
Do you know what? If I was Sony, I'd call that bluff and go, fine, we'll do that. Well,
no, the problem is Microsoft have actually come out in court and said Sony have better games than us.
Yeah, this is the thing with Activision. This is the thing with this takeover. Like, one, if I was it is literally Microsoft's defense against this, against like the monopoly claims, is Microsoft saying, "Well, our games are shit anyway."
Exactly. That's basically what they're coming out with. They're basically saying, "Well, our games are not good enough, so that's why we need to buy Activision."
So if I was 343 and fucking
if I was Tango, if I was Arcane, all the companies that they've literally just bought, and you're, okay, all right. So you bought us, but we're shit, are we?
How insulting is that? Like Ninja Theory. If you're Ninja Theory and everyone's going on about Senua's thingy, and it's like, dude,
I beg your pardon, what? Sony just have better games. That's literally their defense at the moment. Is Sony have better games than us?
I mean, granted,
they want to use they want to use the release schedule of Sony to be like, yeah, if we buy Activision, Sony will be okay because they've got these games.
Do you know what?
That's not how monopolies work.
If I was Sony, I would go, fine. We'll release ours under two conditions. One, you release your release schedule to the public. And two, all Bethesda properties that have been classed as Xbox exclusives be put onto the PlayStation.
Yeah. But here's the thing: like, I love that argument of like, oh well, their games, their release schedule is going to show that they'll be perfectly fine if we buy Activision. That's not how it works. Also, if McDonald's decides to buy Burger King and a small company comes up and is like, no, you can't have that because they're the two biggest burger places in the world, and they'll be like, yeah, but you make loads of money anyway, so you'll be fine. No, that's not how a monopoly works. Monopolies don't work like that. They're just like, oh well, they can go through because they make a bunch of money anyway, so it's perfectly fine. No.
Also, that argument, while maybe be able to fight in court against Sony, it doesn't explain Google and is it Epic? No, there's Google and Nvidia. Yeah, Google and Nvidia. Google and Nvidia's lawsuits against this monopoly as well. So
I genuinely love the fact that they've actually come out and gone, well, our games are shit, and then gone, but it'll be perfectly fine if we buy them because Sony will be okay. Like, no, that's first off, Sony being okay is not a problem of the monopoly.
Also, again, let us once again reiterate. Yes, these are major global corporations, but Sony are based in Japan, and Microsoft is based. Sony is based in Japan, which has, in the Asian market, there is a lot of competition. You've got Sega.
I think it's mainly because I think Sony's entertainment branch is now based in America.
Possibly.
I think that's because I'm pretty sure they moved.
But I would still class like Sony as a Japanese company.
Yeah, Sony is a Japanese
company.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then you look at Microsoft. If Microsoft buy Activision Blizzard, just take in the companies that make games in North America. Right, there is literally Microsoft and Sony, and that's it. Well, 2K, but no one cares. And EA, but no one cares about that.
Well, let's be honest. Like EA, if those, like, I don't mean this to be mean to like the staff at EA, but if the board members could sell EA to make I don't know, like $10 in their back pocket, they fucking would.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about EA. I think they're more money grubbing than anybody I've ever heard of. Like, if they could sell EA to make like a couple of grand, they probably would. Right.
But yeah, it's like it turns from you're talking about two of the biggest games developers in America, in North America, combining.
Yeah. And
yes, again, the whole argument of, well, they're global corporations. The United States court won't give a fuck.
It doesn't,
about
the globally. It doesn't matter. It's what happens in your country. Like, it's like the European courts are looking at this. Well, actually, no, I'm pretty sure they've put a lawsuit in European courts. This can't happen.
The European courts, the UK, like, let's all be honest, like the UK government tends to be just sitting on its arse, sucking its thumb, and doing nothing. And even they're looking into this and going, we think this is a monopoly.
Maybe this might not be
for the British government to go, we think this is a monopoly.
The government that we have right now to stand up and be like, maybe we should not do this.
Yeah, we think this is a little bit too big of a company. Like I say, I do think that the acquisition's going to go through, but I do think it's going to be there's a lot of caveats to it.
I think there's going to be a lot of like collateral damage here.
A lot of it's going to be, you can have Activision, but you can't have Blizzard, for example. There will be caveats of, you can have this, but these have to be split off, which is the usual thing that happens when major corporations take over other major corporations, and the governments, the regulators basically say, you're too big.
Yeah.
You own too much of the market. Chop some of it off, make them independent, and and like I say, Blizzard is probably the one that can go it alone the easiest, because it was, and for a long time. The problem is my worry is that this won't happen until the rot that's happening in Blizzard becomes irreversible.
But anyway, moving on from that.
But yeah, Activision Blizzard is a terrible place to work, and its ownership is
what a surprise!
And its ownership is literally a den of
the cancer. They are a literal
they are cancer. A literal cancer onto the gaming industry.
I'd say humanity, just humanity as a whole.
Yes, I know, but specifically the gaming community.
I'd say humanity as a whole, but okay. But anyway, so we're moving on from that to some good news. Now, it's just, can you believe this? 2 things of good news.
Yes, I know.
2 things.
Shockingly.
So, just recently, there was the Xbox Developer Direct.
Yes.
Xbox and Bethesda Developer Directs.
I mean, stop pretending.
I know, it's just Xbox. Like, I don't understand why they're like, Bethesda are their own company. No, they're not. They're just part of Microsoft.
If they are, then why is Starfield being a Xbox exclusive console-wise?
Why is everything by Bethesda?
Bethesda, an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
You know, that thing you said wasn't going to happen.
So, the games that they showed off, there wasn't a lot, but what they showed off was it was alright.
It was okay.
It was alright. There was nothing there that, like, blew me away. I'm not going to lie.
But there was one thing that
was cool.
That was cool, and people started to say, no, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that.
So we had the Forza Motorsport, which is just like we're getting more and more like Gran Turismo every day, and I just don't care anymore. I just don't care about
it's
you.
Like if I want pretty cars.
The thing is, right, to me, right, what they showed off, because it was a lot of like, and the stuff they were talking about, I was just looking at it and I was just like, does anybody actually care about
Here's the thing, right? They went on about like, oh, the collisions are more violent and this is the most aggressive, and I'm like, you do know that motorsport kind of goes.
Yeah, they were like, oh, it's all of the sport can be about violence. I'm like, yeah, but not motorsport. You don't want violence in motorsport. What the hell are you? Unless it's Destruction Derby.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Yes, you can now crash your car. You're not supposed to do that. And they were very like pushing the whole.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of
damage
like,
on cars and stuff, and I was just
like,
okay.
I mean,
I understand. I mean, that's a cool feature, but
it's like play like I understand online you're gonna get the assholes that just ram you off the road and that, but it is kind of like there is mechanics like penalties in that to try and discourage that. If you don't have that, Jesus fucking Christ! I mean, you might as well just you might as well just recall it Destruction Derby. Dear God. They showed a bit of the Minecraft Legends.
Yes, they showed off Minecraft Legends.
The real-time strategy game, which...
the PvP...
Yes, the
real-time strategy stuff, which looks alright, but it's Minecraft.
And it's real-time strategy, which is not your...
Which is not my forte.
No.
As much as I do actually like real-time strategy, because I like the Total War games and stuff like that, but it's just I'm just not very good at it.
Yeah.
I just prefer... what I like to do is just get a giant army
and
throw everything at the other side.
You like the sort of like Command and Conquer StarCraft, where you build a base and you just churn out troops and then throw everyone at you.
And see what happens. If it destroys the base, then I win. If it doesn't, I lose.
Yeah.
There's only two outcomes here. I like that. But yeah, it looks alright. It looked fun.
Yeah, and it's definitely one where it's like it does encourage team play.
It's a different idea on the real-time strategy. To be
fair.
I haven't seen many games actually do that.
Yeah, like it encourages like if you're one that more focuses on building, you can just focus on building the defenses.
I do like the idea. I think if they allowed this in Minecraft, I don't know if they do or not because it's been a while.
No, they don't.
But I would like I like the idea of like one person going out and like cutting down trees and that, and it just automatically going to the base.
Yeah, I know.
I like that because that's what I like to do in those type of games.
No.
I don't care about building. I like to just go, oh, what's over there? Let's go have a look.
The closest you'll ever get in actual Minecraft is the mods that give you like giant big backpacks, so you can like carry a lot more stuff. Which you would, if we had those mods, you would probably enjoy it more because then you could literally go out for like 2 days straight, just chop down an entire forest and then come back.
Yeah,
drop it all off and then go out.
It's always been my problem with those type of games. It's just like I end up with a ton of shit, and I'm halfway to my destination, but I've got so much stuff that I can't pick anything else up, so I have to go all the way back. And it's just like it's the reason why I don't play them, because it's just like I cannot be bothered making 7 trips to get to one destination and then finding out that one destination really wasn't worth it. You know, it's just. But yeah, it looked alright. They added in. I don't know if they're actually in Minecraft. Again, I haven't played it in ages. The piglins. I know they're in the Nether. Is it piglins?
No, they're pigmen.
They were calling them piglins.
Yeah, I think it's a different. It's like an offshoot to the pigmen,
and they're like all around.
Yeah, they're like a third enemy, like a antagonist to both sides. Which is a neat mechanic. It's not unusual, but it is a neat mechanic.
So that was cool. So Minecraft's looking good. The one after Forza was by Tango, and I love Tango, and this game looks cool. It's a shame it's only on the Xbox, but it is what it is.
It's on PC as well.
It's on PC as well, but I'm not downloading some fucking bollocks just to get to it. Unless it's on Steam. Is that on Steam? On Steam. Oh, it's on Steam. Well, I might go for it then.
It's only... I think it's only like $40, so I can't remember off the top of my head. Can't remember how much that converts. But say £40.
Okay, that's alright. Was Hi-Fi Rush, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a rhythm action brawler. So like Devil May Cry crossed with Rock Band.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
the story's pretty fun. I've been watching streamers play it. It's a pretty funny sort of game. And to be fair, the fact that this game has been in development for 4 years and not a word about it came out,
they secretly dropped it. Now, two things about this. Like, there has been some people that are complaining, like, "Whoa, people are liking the tone of this game and the antagonist who constantly quips, but they don't like the antagonist in Forsaken." There's a reason for that. High Five.
The dialogue in Hi-Fi Rush is 10 times better than what.
But also, Hi-Fi Rush is not taking itself seriously.
Yeah.
Forsaken is trying to take itself seriously, despite the fact that their protagonist is quipping like Deadpool constantly.
Yeah. It's kind
Which again, Deadpool works because Deadpool doesn't take himself seriously. Anyway. But secondly, there are some people that are going, yes, we should have more of these ghost drops. So you don't need all this. Yeah, slight issue here. One, Hi-Fi Rush was announced on a major announce thing for Xbox. Two, it is Microsoft that back it, along with and it's produced by Tango, who already have a reputation. The indie scene, that's how you send a game to die. Yeah,
it needs a bit of fanfare. A lot of games need fanfare.
You do need some actual marketing behind it. You have to have a plan.
Let's be honest, you couldn't just drop, I don't know, Bioshock 4. You couldn't just drop that out of nowhere.
No.
Right? It's not going to happen. Because people will just be like, oh my god, Bioshock 4, and then you may initially make a lot of money, but if that game sucks, it's going to just
ruin the entire franchise.
It's going to ruin the entire franchise, and two, that money it's going to dry up very fast. Yeah. Because the word of mouth is going to get around very quickly, and stuff like that. You can't just shadow drop a game out of nowhere.
Also,
it works in this instance. It's a new IP.
Yeah, it's a new IP.
It's Tango's first drop since the buy. Because I know Ghostwire was by Tango, but that was already announced way before.
It was the first announcement, but also like that game was a massive development by the time that. They got bought,
so in this, there's a lot of things. Because let's be honest, how long is? I'm pretty sure it's not a very long game.
No, it's not. It's like 6 hours.
Yeah, it's not massively long. It's definitely a game that doesn't overstay its welcome. You know?
And it's a sort of, and also it is completely different to what Tango has been doing before now.
Yeah,
like
I think if they hadn't have dropped this, just shadow dropped this, people and they put some fanfare behind this, I think a lot of people would have just looked at this and gone, nah, this isn't what Tango usually do, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, and then there's those that would like this sort of game and go, oh, Tango, the horror developers? Nah.
Yeah, this is probably not going to be that good. So it always depends on the situation. But like shadow dropping, just more games should be shadow dropped. No, because that's not how it works. In a lovely world, I would love for that. I would love to just be surprised by games all the time. In an amazing world, but we don't live in that world.
Look, if there's stuff I don't want to be spoiled about, I'll do what I used to do with every single Metal Gear release.
Yeah. I think the other
basically go underneath a rock and wait till the game releases.
I think another thing is like games nowadays, like a lot of them are like, they're big time sinks. And you have to show that off. You have to show like this game is worth your time.
Especially since they're saying like, especially with some games like demanding like $70.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's games out there like 100+ hours, and they're like 70 quid to 100. to depending on the fucking developer. Sony, I'm fucking looking at you. You know, and like, could you imagine shadow dropping a game at 70 quid? That game's not getting bought by anybody.
No.
No one's buying that game.
No.
It's not happening. You know, so as where I do understand why people want.
It would have the only game that could probably I would argue could be shadow dropped at $70 with and actually do well is a Hideo Kojima directed Metal Gear.
Probably.
That's it. That is literally it. I don't think anything else could, and even then, I'm not 100% sure it would do.
I don't think it would do as well as the other Metal Gears.
Yeah,
though.
no, I don't think it would. No, that's not me saying that I want Hideo Kojima to do another Metal Gear. I'm pretty sure if there's anyone sick and tired,
he's pretty much said he's not doing it.
Yeah, if anyone is pretty much done with that series, it's Hideo Kojima, and you know he's perfectly entitled to do whatever the fuck he wants. But like, yeah, no, stealth dropping can only work in specific circumstances, and Hi-Fi Rush is one of those specific circumstances.
It's one of those where it shows that, like, yeah, this can work, but it has to be.
But also,
like, this way.
I honestly do think, like, I think the streaming side of it, the fact that people instantly got onto it and started streaming, helped.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it wouldn't. Yeah, if it wasn't for, I honestly think it like streamers instantly gravitating to it and going, "Oh, this is actually pretty cool," and then starting to like big it up. Because that's the thing. When I saw them, I was like, "Oh, that's neat. I'll wait till some reviews come in. Thanks very much." And then I saw people playing it and saw people raving about it, and I was like, "Oh, it is actually good."
All right
then.
All right, this is good. So yeah, this was that Hi-Fi Rush was probably my favourite thing that I saw.
Yeah.
At the thing.
I'll be honest, it was a bit meh.
Which I'm quite surprised. I'm saying, as we'll find out, as like the last thing that's shown off. I was actually quite surprised that Hi-Fi Rush was my favourite thing, but Elder Scrolls was the one after that. Basically, they're showing off the next chapter.
Yeah.
I can't remember. He was explaining what chapters were. I think what he meant was that basically like the updates of like what MMOs do whenever they add a new story piece in.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say this was like the next expansion. He said this was the next chapter.
Yeah.
And usually they're very clear on the next expansion.
Yeah.
And I think the next expansion isn't out till. At least,
I
think it's going to be announced this year.
It may not be a major expansion, but it has like got a new area. It's got a new class.
Yeah, it's done what Genshin do at the moment, and I think Final Fantasy doesn't do it, but Genshin do it. You know, when sometimes
they basically
when they
we get a new area, but we don't get the whole new area. They just do like one part of the area and then release another part of the area.
That's what I mean. Do it. That's what they were doing.
Because I think the last one that was released, last major expansion was Morrowind, wasn't it? And this is another part of Morrowind.
Was it Morrowind? It was either Morrowind or Skyrim. It was one of the others. I think it was Morrowind because they talked about Morrowind in this chapter.
Yeah.
You're also getting the Necron.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah.
So and he said it was like their second new class that they've ever done.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, wow, because there's been quite a few expansions.
Yeah.
For Elder Scrolls Online, which is good. To be fair to Elder Scrolls Online,
there's a lot.
It is a good game. It is a good game. I just cannot be bothered. I look at that game and I don't know what it is. Like, part of me is just like, yeah, I could really get into that. And then the other part of me, and the one that wins all the time, is like, I really can't be arsed. I really can't be arsed getting into that game. So yeah, I'm glad this is doing well because I do like MMOs. I like MMOs. Apart from WoW, I don't know what it is about WoW. I look at WoW and I'm just like, I don't want to play Pixar the movie. Like I don't want to do it. I don't care what any WoW fans. Asmongold, you can at me. I don't care anymore. Like it's fucking Pixar the movie. I don't give a shit. I don't want to play that.
I mean, hell, the fact that like the villains usually end up going. They keep trying to go. Oh well, there was a reason for them doing this. Like no, can the villain just be the villain?
Yeah,
can we kill the villain?
I can understand. I know why you're doing this, and that's fine. But like, you could have just made the jailer. You could have just made him evil just to be evil and just get it done with.
Yeah.
Like, because like nobody liked the jailer. we all saw that.
Oh, what did he say when you finally beat him?
He's like trying to stop some other
bigger
evil coming, and that was the whole thing. And it was just like, you could have just made him evil for evil's sake. Nobody liked him anyway. You know, like.
And then the whole fucking redemption arc for Sylvanas is like...
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, it's like, you know, the entire fan
that's
base...
just bad.
The entire fan base was just like, no redemption, we just kill her.
Sylvanas is a cool character, and I understand that people, like, especially the
She is a cool character.
She's a cool character and all that, and it's fine, but it's just sort of like, everything that she's done... There's really no coming back from. Like, you can't. She commits genocide, for the love of God.
Here's
like,
the thing,
you cannot come back from that.
Maleficent is a cool character. Not the live action. They don't exist. Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty, the animation. She's a cool character. She's a very good villain. She dies. Why? Because of the shit she pulls. She did. It's like.
Because she's just
Scar.
Yeah, Scar's a great villain.
Scar's an amazing villain.
He even has a good backstory if you think about it. He's just jealous of his brother, and his brother gets all the accolades. And you look at him and you can kind of go, well, like, I empathise with you. I wouldn't go as far to kill my brother, but I empathise with you. And you know,
and he dies.
But he dies because he's doing bad shit.
Like, if there are certain times
he's past, right? It's because the characters they can be villains, right? So how you write a villain, as long as you don't pass, there's a line with villains where like they can get up to that line, but they can come back. The minute you pass that line, that's it. It's
there's no redemption.
You can't bring them back.
Even if they regret what they've done, the consequence of those actions will be.
Most of the time,
is death.
Like, they don't get to just be like, oh no, I'm so sorry that I killed an entire race of people. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad about doing it. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. You're a horrible... You either get chained up and locked away in a box for the rest of your life, or you die. That's how those villains... That's how those villains work.
Anyway.
God damn it. Anyway, we went on a tangent there. I do apologise. But yeah, Elder Scrolls Online looks good. And
it's an awful lot of content for anyone that hasn't gone.
To be fair, like if you have not played Elder Scrolls and you've got an Xbox, actually no, not even an Xbox. You can play it on PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
PlayStation, PC. If you've got any of that stuff, and you fancy giving an MMO a try. To be honest with you, Elder Scrolls is like you can't find a better starting spot.
Yeah. There's an awful lot of content.
There's no subscription fee.
Yeah. You just have to buy the expansions.
You just have to buy the expansions. There's a lot, but I think they come in like the base game is like you can buy the base game for like $5.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Every time there's a massive expansion comes out, everything else gets cheaper.
And not just cheaper, like ridiculously cheap.
Which is understandable.
Which is good. Which I think is a great way for a lot of people who don't know what they're getting into. Just like the base game's like $5. I think you'll know if you like it or not
by the time you even.
I'd say about halfway through the game.
Yeah,
you'll know if you like it. I think, and for a $5, what more can you ask for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that. It's pretty good. Give it a go. I generally, as much as like I say, I can't be bothered getting into it, but that's because like I've got Final Fantasy 14, Destiny 2, which is coming out very soon, and I'm massively hyped for. Genshin. You takes up my time.
Yeah, you kind of got no time.
My friends now want me. I'm playing Fallout 76 because my friends are all playing it. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake.
I've actually started.
I've actually
started Fallout 76, and I'm.
Yeah, I have the same problems with that I do with Fallout 4. Like, I feel like the game wants me to build a base, and I'm just there like, I do not want to build a base.
You need to pull me into your thing, because then I'll be happy just going around building stuff. Because that's the problem. Here's the problem I found. I don't have the resources to build what I want to build, because it's like in Fallout 4, you find an area, you can literally just dismantle almost everything, and it's a good kickstart to building your stuff. You literally have fuck all, and I'm like, God. I've like made this. I'm trying to make this like.
I'll tell you what. I'll bring you into my game, and we'll do whatever quests that you've got, because you get materials for completing quests.
Yeah.
And just all this random shit. And Because I'm constant. What I need to do is I'm gonna just start putting everything into strength because I've got my weight carry is just.
Oh, it's always stupid at the beginning.
It's yeah, but I'm about halfway through the game now. I think I'm level 50, and it's still it's like 200, and it's not enough. I can carry like 4 guns and a little bit of armor.
There used to be, because I've actually got it. It's is it Laws of Radio? It's something to do with it's a perk where basically if you're on your own,
yeah,
buffs. In Fallout 4, the buff was you could carry more. Now the best thing about that was that the dog wasn't classed as a companion.
Yes.
So you could have the dog and have that buff and be able to carry absolutely shit tons.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
The buff's not that.
It's another thing I do not like about Fallout is companions. Like I don't want companions to get in the fucking way.
Well, this is the thing with Fallout 4. The dog companion, one, it doesn't die.
Oh yeah, I know.
It can't die, and two, it's a good workhorse.
It's a good companion. Yeah, I know that. Like,
everyone else. No, it's okay. I'll do your quest line, but you're not coming.
I would do the quest, and like I'd just be like, no, fuck off. You start following me. The worst thing is you do the quest and they instantly replace the dog.
Yeah, I know.
And I'd be like, so I have to go all the way back to my camp now to get my dog so I can tell you to fuck off. Like, oh god damn it! I Fallout 4. I hate you. I hate you more than anything that you could ever know.
Anyway, moving on.
And this was the final thing, and I did like this. It looks really cool. They showed more stuff off about Redfall.
Arcane's new game,
and I'm a big fan of Arcane. It looks really cool and fun.
Yeah, it does. Right. So our initial thinking of this game was going to be a supernatural
Left 4
Dead with vampires and special abilities. The latest playthrough that they've shown makes it feel more like
it looks more like Borderlands, which is fine.
But with Arcane's like level design, so like the whole thing of like different people can do different things, and depending on how you build, you can do a mission your own way. Sort of thing.
I like the fact that they've still managed to keep in, even though it's going to be like an online game, that they've managed to somehow keep in like your choice matters. But by the looks of things,
yeah.
So
and from the looks of it, the core gameplay loop is going to be doing missions, gaining control of territories, and then killing like the head vampire of that area.
Yeah, which is cool.
Which is a cool concept. Execution is going to be key. Yeah,
but I think with Arcane, with the games that they released, I think we could.
It's whether or not the multiplayer works.
Yeah.
If the multiplayer doesn't work,
this is Arcane's first multiplayer game.
Yeah, if the multiplayer doesn't work, it's going to be bad news bears.
Yeah, but I've given.
But you know they've with Dishonored and Dishonored 2, they do deserve a bit of.
And Deathloop had a little bit of multiplayer in that because you could invade other people's.
Yeah.
Well, so you know.
So you know they do deserve a little bit of like what's the word? Can't remember. But anyway, they deserve a little bit of credit, and like we shouldn't just like brush them off instantly.
It looks.
I'll wait for its launch.
It does look
I am gutted it's only on Xbox and PC, but you know
that's fine.
You know, Microsoft. If there's one thing you can promise about Microsoft, it's that it doesn't. They do not keep their word.
That's very true. Yeah, they're not very good at keeping their word.
No.
We can play it on PC.
Yeah, that's very true. I do need a new PC, and I am hoping to get one.
I think
in the near future.
I think mine should be able to play it. Should be all right. We could even stream it.
We could indeed.
But yeah, it looks all right. They showed off a load of new vampires, like the different types. They showed off the weird heart thing that's floating in the air in a cave.
Mm-hmm. They're the nests.
Yeah,
which is another part of the loop.
Yeah.
Well, the game loop. Nests are like really powerful dungeons.
They showed off they showed off like a event that may happen, like the random events.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff they did. Actually, in the time that they had, they did manage to show off a fair bit, which is all right. I'm happy with. But yeah, that was the Xbox thing. It was okay. There was nothing, like I said, there was nothing that shouted out to me that was like, oh my god, this is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, there's some good news for Xbox fans. I would say that. Right, moving on. Back to D&D. Our story has, I think it's finished.
Well, I won't say it's exactly finished yet, but so a couple of things. One, I did not think I'd be talking about this today.
Yeah.
I didn't think, because literally, like, the survey was supposed to last for at least another week. Till the end of this week. Like, so, and two, I didn't even think what has happened would happen. So, quick TLDR. Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, who own Dungeons and Dragons, middle to the end of last year, announced they were going to bring out one D&D, which was like the next thing, like 6th edition X, for example. They were also going to bring out, and then near the end of last year, they announced they were going to bring out their own virtual tabletop. Now, their virtual tabletop looked very, very fancy. It was 3D, and seemed to have a lot of bells and whistles. And the community were kind of concerned, because the current setup is that they have something called the Open Game License. And the community have asked them, well, is the Open Game License going to stay? You know, you haven't made any firm commitments, etc. And they were very vague, but it's like, oh no, don't worry about it, it's okay. And then at the beginning of this year, it leaked that no, they were getting rid of the OGL 1.0A, and the only reason why we all found out is because people broke an NDA.
They then,
needless to say, the community was not happy.
Yeah, the backlash was pretty high. They then came out with a revised 1.1. They came out with a response that was terrible.
The most petty response I've ever seen.
It was a very terrible response. They then came out with
which led to an even bigger backlash. And then they came out with 1.2 and stating that they wanted to do a survey. 1.2
which is where we left off from the last week, actually.
Yeah. Basically filling in the survey, and I think it was Friday they announced that over the past, they came out with a tweet. Over the past few weeks, you, the community, have made your voices heard, and we listened. OGL 1.0A will remain untouched, and the entire SRD 5.1 is now available under Creative Commons license. So, a couple of things. One, it means they're not revoking 1.0A, which is good news. But the SRD 5.1 is basically your bare essentials to make third-party D&D content for 5th edition. It hasn't got everything. I think it's got everything prior to Tasha's Cauldron, book release-wise, right? But it's got all your basics like races like tieflings, orcs, goblins, etc., elves, and the classes like barbarian, ranger, wizards, warlock. Okay, for example. So this, and here's the really big bombshell that I didn't think they were ever going to do. Because they've put it under the Creative Commons license, it is irrevocable.
Yes. It
is open to the community to use, and it is irrevocable. They can't revoke it anymore. They can't revoke the SRD 5.1. They can't go, oh, you can't use any of that, that's copyrighted. They can't. It's done. The moment they end that, then the moment they said they were putting it under there, that was it. It's irrevocable. No take backsies completely. Like, I was stunned. Is it perfect? No, because there are certain things that have been released after 5.1 that would be nice if they were in, but there's nothing stopping someone from taking the SRD 5.1 and making their own type of that type of class that isn't already there. And it's the stat sheets as well, so it's like strength, like the actual stats, so you can make classes and characters using that. So they continued on and went, your feedback in the OGL 1.2 survey is already clear and we're acting on it. 62%, so this is over 15,000 people have filled in the survey by this point. 62% are satisfied with adding the SRD to Creative Commons, and those dissatisfied want more in Creative Commons. 89% are dissatisfied with deauthorization 1.0a.
Yeah.
89%. 88% do not want to publish content under OGL 1.2. I wonder why.
That was always going to happen.
And so the community is literally like, I mean, there's some that's going, we won, yes. Which is understandable. There are some that are literally saying, yeah, we still don't trust you because you're literally...
Oh, yeah. You're not going to trust them now.
And here's the great thing about this, right? It means that the third parties that we're going to get royally screwed out of in the 1.2 OGL, just support them. If you're not going to buy Wizard of the Coast stuff, don't buy Cobalt Press stuff.
Buy Pathfinder.
Buy Pathfinder. Buy a whole bunch of other third party stuff. Like, and here's the thing, like, because I was fairly new to like the actual Dungeons and Dragons buying and stuff. I was unaware of how big the third party stuff was. Like I'd heard about Cobalt Press, and I was like one of those like, well, once I finish getting everything I want from Dungeons and Dragons, I'll look at that as extra stuff to put on top. But like the amount of like third party content that there is, it's just ridiculous. And if it wasn't for this massive explosion if it wasn't for Wizards of the Coast royally fucking up, I'd be none the wiser. Because I'm the type of person that would be oblivious to this sort of thing. So thanks for letting me know.
Oh, yeah, so good news.
Yeah, I can expand my content, my stuff involving 5th edition D&D without giving Wizards of the Coast any money.
Yay!
So it is absolutely. I'm stunned that one.
They've backtracked
so much. 2, it's only took them a week, and 3, it's actually worked. The community uniting together, the entire tabletop community just literally standing together and going, this ain't gonna happen, and we know it ain't gonna happen.
Well, see, that's the difference though. Right, because like we said, like the AAA gaming industry, the community doesn't. They'll stand up, but it doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
So the companies know that they only have to hold out for
so long,
and then
the fact that the community was literally like boycott.
Yeah. And for what about a month? This has been about a month. They've been going, and they stuck to it for the entire time. You've had all the content creators criticizing it. You've had everybody saying this is stupid. You've had everybody saying no, we're not going to buy anything. We're going to everybody unsubscribing from D&D.
D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond. Whatever. It hurts the bottom line at the end of the day, and to Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast can't afford to let that keep going. Yeah,
well, when I said last week when I gave a rough estimation of how much money the 40,000 plus subscribers loss would cost them, and it's like no company can afford to lose that much money a month for long. And I do think a bit of pressure was probably coming from the movie as well. Like the movie, Paramount were probably looking at them and going, "What the fuck are you doing?
Why are you fucking with our movie?
Why are you fucking with our money? Why?" I think Paramount, and I think what's the
Paramount will probably be the ones that they're the production company.
Yeah. But there's the Hasbro filmmaking company that's on part of it as well.
It'll be them. The ones that did they helped with Transformers and all that nonsense.
But yeah, it's well, to everyone that goes on about like boycotts not working, this one works. If you hurt them enough, if you financially hit them where it hurts enough, they will turn around because here's the thing. One, Hasbro's stock literally plummeted 40 cents overnight prior to this announcement, and also they announced they were letting go 10,000 people.
Oh God!
Because of course.
Well, they've got to make that 40 cents back.
No, clearly. But I do think like they realised that one, the people who made these decisions clearly misread the market.
Yeah.
And two, the shareholders saw what was happening probably and went and literally started to go, excuse me,
something's going on here. I don't like this.
Why
am I losing money?
Why is my investment now all of a sudden less? Why are you fucking over the one part of your business that's making money?
Which, by the way, Hasbro, if you want any ideas, right? We actually came up with some last week, but like, just throw them out there. You can hire me. I'm an ideas guy. I can do that.
Yeah.
I can just throw. If you want ideas to make money for D&D, I can do it. Like the obvious one is actually make models. Like seriously. Officially licensed models. Those things would sell like gangbusters. Like, just that's one idea that you can have it.
Yeah, just release a line of beholders and Tiamat and dragons. And
yeah, just do it. Just go for it.
Like this is the thing. Like D&D is geek culture. It is pure geek culture because it's about basically numbers, rule reading, and fantasy worlds. Yeah, it's too much.
Unfortunately for D&D, it's too much numbers for me. It gets to the point where it's just like, this is going over my head. I don't know. Does it make my? Because Destiny works best for me because it's like, does it make my big blue number go up? That's all I need to know.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? It depends on what you want to get out of it. If you want to just get out of like the role playing and not
I just want my big blue number to go up.
You just want your big blue number.
Yeah, that's all I want.
That's fine. That's the DM's problem. He can give you stuff and say yes, it does go up.
Okay, that'll do. That'll do for me. I don't want to do maths.
You don't have to.
I don't want to do maths. I do maths at work. I don't want to do maths when I come home from work.
You don't have to because you can basically just like you'll have on your sheet like. This is my sword. This is the plus that my sword gives to hit, and this is the amount of damage it'll do. I just roll dice, and then basically number on the dice plus whatever your plus is, and then your damage plus whatever your.
See, again, that is way too much.
Yes, I know, but the thing is, here's the thing: you break it down into like, well, do I hit? Yes. Now I go. Okay, so how much damage do I actually do? Do I hit? No. Well, it doesn't matter what I roll for my damage.
Yeah. It's still too much maths. I need somebody else to do that for me. Somebody else can do that. I just want to hit it with the big sword. That's it.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing though. That's the DM's.
Yeah, I know.
That's the DM. The DM should also know like what you're.
I think. To get back to the thing that I think. Obviously, this is a good thing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Hasbro, you can easily make your money with D&D. I mean,
maybe
not right now. And I think if you just showed off a load of new stuff,
well, the thing, here's the thing: the damage it's done to the community is I don't think it's going to fully repair. Ever.
Oh no, it won't.
Because they'll have lost a lot of people to the third-party stuff.
Yeah, I know that, but what I'm saying is, like, right now, like, there's probably nothing that you could do to repair the damage that you've done right now. But later on down the line,
yes,
there's stuff you can do.
Yeah,
you can release some cool shit, and
all the thing is that it will take some investment up front.
Yeah,
you're a multi-million-dollar company.
To be fair, again, the models,
and you already make models.
Yeah.
You just have to design miniature scales that fit on the blooming.
Yeah, just don't do a Games Workshop and charge like ridiculous amounts.
Yeah.
Do you know Angron's coming out? Do you know how much he's going to be?
Oh, he's going to be.
I'm not happy about this.
Yeah.
He's going to be £95.
Ouch.
Apparently.
Ouch.
For one model. I'm
Jesus.
like, it's not even painted. Games Workshop. Like, look, I know you're you're a weird company, and for some strange reason you don't seem to know how money works. But like, come on, what's wrong with you? It's like for Games Workshop, you know, they've just released Arcs of Omen, which is like the new big story thing that they're doing, right? So, and basically what Arcs of Omen is for the strategy side, for the game side, it's a small scale battle. So it's like 500 points. Yeah, don't need a small army. And it's to get new players to come into the game because the rules are like there's less rules.
Streamlined. It's
very streamlined. It is for everything that's in there. It is very easy to get in, right? Do you want to know how you have to have the board? Do you want to know how much the board is?
A lot.
It's 130 quid.
See, that's your problem.
What the is wrong with you?
Okay.
And then the armies because you can buy 2 armies. Of like 1 army, and of like a full, like a 500 point army, right? And then they're 95 quid.
Yeah. Here's the best thing. Right, compare that to Dungeons and Dragons right now. Do you want to know how? Do you know what you would need to just make a character?
A sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my point.
A pencil and a sheet of paper.
That's my point. Like.
That's how hard the vast majority of the money is on the DM side because he needs all the source materials.
Yeah.
But the players literally can get away with just a piece of paper and a pencil.
Yeah. Like, oh my god. Actually, there's another idea for Hasbro. Why don't you actually hire DMs? Like, basically, you have DMs.
Yeah.
No, not the ones that you see on Twitch, because obviously they've got their own businesses. Like, but set up like a side thing for D&D where people work as
Here's the thing,
DMs.
right? Here's the thing, right? A lot of people, some people have been saying, I kind of agree with them. The 1.2, if it was an affiliate scheme,
yeah,
it would have. It's actually much better if it was an affiliate scheme, but they didn't want that.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I mean.
So, because then it was basically like, well, you give these people tools and abilities to like get on the ladder, and then they start making money, and then because you've helped them get on the ladder, you take some of that money.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
Or just go my way. You hire them. I'm just saying. You just be like, look, D&D, these games masters make a good living. Some of them make a good living. Why don't we look at the ones who maybe aren't doing the Twitch thing, right? Because a lot of them will probably be. Why don't we look at them, see if they're good enough, see what people say about them, see if they're good, and why don't we actually have we hire DMs and that you can hire out.
Yeah.
In different areas.
And
that way, look, that way Hasbro can be like, this is how much we would like you to charge an hour. So say I don't know how much a DM runs for an hour.
Yeah, but the issue with that is it's clear that Hasbro does not understand the market it's in.
I know that. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is just an idea that stuff they can do also, if they want to make money.
But I think the problem is that a lot of DMs probably after all this of they've fucked that all up. I'm not touching
these are like the things that they could have done instead of bringing in this whole you make this much money, we're going to take 50% of it.
The issue is that a lot of it would involve investing money.
Yeah.
And at the moment, especially in America, a lot of the major corporations don't want to invest money.
Well, of course not.
Because apparently making money. I think they've gotten so used to just making money hand over fist without actually putting any effort into it that they think they can just keep doing that. And it's like, no, you're heading into a recession. You need to actually do shit now. Because the reason why you need
you actually need to pay your staff. That would help.
That would help as well. But also, the reason why you need to do shit is because you ain't doing shit when you are actually making hand over fist. If you're actually doing shit, you would be in a better, stable position. But, future, being looking forward to the future is not something that the corporations.
They're just too busy looking down at the big pot of gold that they have.
Yeah, not realizing
they're not looking anywhere else.
Realizing that what they're actually doing is taking a giant drill and going to the bottom of that pot of gold.
There's a lot of things that they could have done
Again,
of
the easiest one is models.
Yeah.
Models and dice and dungeon building
equipment.
Models, dice, and dungeon building. Because
fuck it, just boards. just a board. I generally believe that a lot of DMs would love just a board.
Yeah, but again, like, it's geek culture. We eat that shit up.
I know, that's what I mean.
Like, for the love of God, like, go just if anyone doesn't understand what we're on about, if you have a forbidden planet near where you live, go in there and look at what the hell is in there.
Yeah, go down. For us, it'd be go downstairs.
Yeah,
because it's on the ground floor.
Yeah,
we have a big forbidden planet where we are.
And it's literally like, it's full of comics, full of books, full of models, and they're like, that shit is bought. People go and buy all of it.
It's just such a pain in the ass when it's something that I want and I get in there and it's like, oh no, we don't have it. Fuck.
It's like, I try and not go in there because I always see the Gunpla and I'm like, it's Chazaku too.
God damn it.
I could get it.
For me, it's I tend not to go in there now because I go in there and I always come out with a bunch of manga.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that. Like, I've got no room for it.
You got no room for it, and you're like reading what, 5?
Literally,
6?
my microphone is literally stood on a stack of books. That's how bad this is.
Half of which he hasn't read yet.
I haven't read them. I've not even got halfway through them. I'm just like, oh my god, I've got so much to read. I've got so much.
Anyway.
And yeah, I'll go into like Forbidden Planet or Traveling Man, and I'll come out with another like 6 books. That's each shop.
Yeah.
So I'll come back with 12.
All needing to be read.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, very good news for D&D fans.
Yeah. Obviously, the caveat is we haven't heard anything about what's going to happen now to 1D&D. It is probably going to end up a new 4th edition.
Yeah.
Which means it'll come out, people will read it and go, oh, that's cool, and then go straight back to the previous version because they can use all their stuff with it.
Yeah. So, most likely, this is... Yeah. Oh well, Hasbro, you
Hasbro Wizards of the
you
Coast.
made the rod for your own back here. Yeah,
this is your own fault. You could have chosen the easy way to make money. Just need to put stuff up front, or the underhanded, lazy, and disingenuous way, and hope to God you got away with it. Problem is you didn't.
Yeah. But oh well. You did it. And that's
These
this happens.
are the consequences of the consequences of one's actions.
Exactly. What more can you say? But anyway, I think we'll end it there. That's a good spot to end.
Yeah.
I do hope you've enjoyed this chat, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.
Toodles.